mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad.
Well, welcome home, family. It's your mom and your dad. Well, your dad is apparently going and making me breakfast, which honestly is like the least he can do, considering that he has not been stepping it up lately. Like does the man even like me? Like, I'm watching all these other people getting taken care of. We're supposed to be mom and dad, correct? And he hasn't done anything, so breakfast is the least that he can do. Oh, hey, babe. Hi.
I made you a pancake for breakfast.
Oh. No protein? Have you eaten your breakfast yet? Because you're a growing boy and you need to make sure that you've also eaten your breakfast.
Are you saying good boy right now? That's exactly what we talked about last night. About
I'm
how
just
you're
saying,
just like constantly talking down to me like I'm
just saying.
a dog.
Okay, well, I'm going to enjoy this pancake. Thank you so much for making it. It's undercooked. Like, it's like practically wet in the middle.
I'm very happy. And you're my world.
It's practically wet in the middle.
You're my world.
But you know what? That's totally fine because Theo James actually already made me a pancake earlier this morning. But what I find strange, it's Theo James stood up and made me a delicious, fully cooked pancake, perfectly cooked. Yeah. But what I'm concerned about is the fact that you're okay with Theo James making me the perfect pancake, and yet you deliver me a no protein, an undercooked pancake.
Should I have helped Theo James?
What I'm just saying is I don't understand how you could possibly even like me.
I'm very happy right now, and there's nothing boiling underneath me that makes me feel like I'm trapped and frustrated, and I have no issue with where we're at right now. Okay. So I'm very happy, and that's my bad for not knowing that he would make it for you.
I'm just saying, first of all, you should step up to Theo James level, and second, I think if you truly care about me and want to make this relationship work, that you should go to culinary school to make sure that when you make me a breakfast, that you know first and foremost that it should have all of the food pyramid be part of it.
Right.
And protein is necessary. There's plenty of protein options, and then also via culinary school that it is perfectly made. If you want to show me that you care about me like all the other people in this villa and scene. Oh, family. It's definitely not breakfast time, and I will be having a drink this episode. Cheers, because after those Love Island episodes, I need many drinks.
Bro.
I have...
Love Island is Love Islanding.
Love Island is Love Islanding so hard. I love this show so much. I have no words.
We're very lucky because...
I actually have a lot of words.
Yeah, I have no words. So this podcast is over. No, I will say we're very lucky because me and you have watched, a good 7 seasons of the UK one back in the day. And there was the occasional, everyone's kind of locked up early and really no drama. And, there's this weird thing of if couples get locked in a little early, what can happen is that all the bombshells just get denied.
True.
And you kind of keep watching bombshell after bombshell getting left. And you know what I mean? And there has been a couple of those seasons, probably 10 years ago, where you're kind of like, oh, okay, it's not really hitting. This couldn't go better. I will say they made incredible adjustments too. These games are a lot more risky. It caused more problems.
The way that they're doing the recoupling,
the voting early on like this, where America, and I think it almost seems...
America, you are one messy bitch.
I feel like America's a little bit more into the game.
Yes.
Right? They're into a little bit more of let's break these people up, see what happens versus just pure love where they're like, well, they should win. I gotta say,
America's our nation is burning and we're stressing out, so we want to watch them burn in this.
Right. This was such a breaking point in the show, this moment.
Yeah.
Because this is the moment where it could have gone vanilla.
It really could have.
And then
it
you know
could
what I
have
mean?
gotten
Like,
kind of boring.
If the recouple just everyone went back to their couples, you could get kind of caught in a little bit of like, maybe this is the rest of the season. And the fact that the whole thing blew to shreds is like incredible.
And Huda, I'm not condoning Huda's behavior. It's not okay. But Huda came out here and with the ultimate, the great crash out of 2025, the likes of which I have never witnessed.
As the kids say, listen, I don't use the word really crash out, but I will say this is the gleaming example of the great crash out
of 2025.
I mean,
my jaw,
no stone unturned,
my jaw,
no insult not thrown.
I mean, not only the crash out, but the lead up to the crash out when Jeremiah was up on like tied up for the leather and lace game, and she is hanging upside down. When we witness Huda like sneaking behind one of the walls to listen to the men talking, I mean, it was the theater to the utmost degree that I have ever seen.
She is carrying the show on her back.
She really is. It's not good.
Like, listen, you can have your opinions on like what she's doing and if it's okay or not. But she is carrying the show on her back. She is absolutely incredible.
Incredible is a wild word.
I'm talking about visual. I'm talking about TV.
But it is a TV monumentous
gold.
occasion. And I mean, I need all of you to feel really bad for me right now because as a Libra, this show's very difficult for me. As a Libra, this show is so hard because if you know, being a Libra, there's a few things happening. Number one, it's very hard for me to make decisions. So when I'm trying to form opinions about certain people in the villa, my mind is changing constantly. And also, you know, we're the scales. So I'm trying, I see both sides. So there were so many situations throughout, not with the Jeremiah and Huda situation. I feel pretty clear on that one. But with all the other couples throughout it, so far throughout the show, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm vibing with them. Wait, no.
Yes.
Wait, but they have a point. But I feel bad for them. But this, I mean, I'm all over the place.
I feel
so as
that
a
way,
Libra, this is a very stressful show.
I love it. See, I love it because it's like, I'll make, you know, we were on here making snap judgments.
Of course.
But I just love that it's episode to episode, that you can love someone and hate someone and get back to loving them within an episode and a half.
Yeah, it's life, baby.
And like a big one for me was like Hannah. Like,
you were not a fan
initially I was like, whatever. I was like, oh, and then I was like, okay, maybe she's kind of cool. And then the things happen and I'm like, get her out of here. She's treating him bad. And then I'm back and I'm like, she's kind of dope. I love just the journey that some of these people are taking us on. And there really are like, there's certain people that are here, like that are mature and that are really looking for a connection. And then there's certain people that are like serving Love Island.
Serving Love Island,
you know what I mean? Just like really going with the flow.
Absolutely.
Going back on their word immediately, changing their minds constantly. It's very fun.
And I have to tell you, I don't know what type of fever, I won't even call it a fever dream, fever nightmare was served to me on a heaping platter when in one episode I saw Nick become a yoga instructor and Austin become a meditation instructor. I'm like, this is a fever nightmare. Can you imagine walking into a studio here in Los Angeles to do a little yoga, a little meditation, and these two are leading it?
And I gotta say, the Austin stuff I've never seen before. Like all his meditation stuff, I've never seen any of it.
I'm convinced. I'm
convinced he's making it up.
I don't know why it hasn't hit me. It feels so blatantly obvious, and I'm sure everyone's been talking about this, but I'm like, this man is on mushrooms 24/7.
100%.
And it really hit me in one of these episodes we were watching. I'm like, oh, he snuck some mushies to Fiji, and this man is on mushrooms all day, every day.
He's 100% that guy that you're like, oh, we're going on a getaway. We're going to have friends. We're going to go like snowboarding and then he has like stuff. Like he's always has an assortment of things.
Yeah, his paraphernalia is brought
it's all
everywhere.
A backpack full of stuff. He's like, oh, you guys, it's 3:00. We should do these. It's like, he is that guy. We're like,
Austin, please do not risk bringing this onto the plane. Our crew is going to get arrested and yet he will do it regardless.
Like, I got it through. And we're just like, we're going to brunch right now. Can we not?
Let the mushrooms speak to us, man.
Yes, brother.
Anywho,
wow.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yes,
we have a lot. We are going to be covering episodes 9 through 14.
I mean, it was like a million
9 through
episodes.
14, one of which again is an After Sun episode, which we did not watch and we will not be covering. But 9 through 14, if you're watching this, listening to this on Friday, a new episode just came out,
Yes.
which we haven't seen. So we'll be behind one episode, but not bad. Not bad.
And
We'll be
let's be
covering
real,
all the
you know,
other
you-
ones.
Most likely you haven't seen all these.
No,
You know,
I
we're
don't
on
believe it.
You
I don't
think
believe
everyone's
it.
on it?
Yes, I really do. I think everyone, I mean, we are hook, line, and sinker in this
Amazing.
show, and we are watching every single night. It is a celebration. It is a unifier, and we are here watching Love Island.
So good. It's so good.
It's so good. All right. Let's get into episodes 9 through 14, but first we have to take a quick pause. I'll tell you what, if I was a bombshell entering the Love Island villa, I would do my clothing shopping beforehand at Quince. I would come in decked out head to toe in Quince because that way I know I would look good. Quince has gorgeous, timeless pieces that are high quality and lightweight and elevated, and they're forever pieces that I can wear season after season. And the cherry on top, the prices. Wow, I am shocked at the incredible prices every single time. Hear me when I tell you Quince is my favorite, and it blows my mind every single time I go onto that website with the vast variety of stunning pieces. I'm talking 100% European linen shorts and dresses from $30, luxe swimwear, Italian leather platform sandals, and so much more. I personally am obsessed with their 100% European linen pieces right now for the summer. Lightweight, comfy, chic, make me feel like I'm vacationing on the Amalfi Coast. They're so beautiful. I have numerous pairs of their European linen pants. The cut is everything. They pair well with everything. And I just got a pair of the linen high-waisted shorts. I need 10 of them now, okay? They're so comfortable and they look so gorgeous. They fit so well. I've paired them with one of Quince's 100% European linen strapless tops and I feel gorgeous. I'm obsessed with Quince. I send everyone to Quince.
Yeah, Quince is really, really amazing. And the best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. Yes, half. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes.
I'm telling you, family, you need to go on Quince's website and browse. They have it all, and it's chic and it's quality. Of course, all of the gorgeous clothing pieces for everyone, but also beautiful jewelry, sunglasses, luggage, cashmere throws, and so much more. Quince is my go-to place to get my wardrobe, but also it's such an amazing place to shop for gifts. Just FYI. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/momdad for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/momdad to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/momdad. All right, family.
Yeah, come on, let's get into it.
Let's get into this. Episodes 9 through 14.
Episodes 9 through 150,000.
And make sure to tune in next week. We have one episode next week. It's going to come out on Thursday. Thursday of next week, we're going to be going over another week of Love Island, which I'm sure the drama will be
Let's go.
absolutely wild.
Love it.
Okay. So let's start off with where we begin at episode 9, which is we're seeing kind of like the ending, the follow-up to Jeremiah and Huda's conversation after Jeremiah heard all the negative things from the guys.
And that's
then
when he was doing the like weird thumbs up thing on the couch and being like so
totally
obvious. And he'd be like, nothing's wrong. It's like,
absolutely nothing's wrong.
Be better at lying.
Wouldn't make eye contact with her, the whole thing. And she's like, why aren't you telling me? I know something is going on and stand up for us and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I just want to say this just off the rip, okay, about Jeremiah and Huda. Obviously, in these episodes leading up to what the episodes we're discussing today, I will not deny, and I will continue to stand on the fact that Jeremiah was love bombing her and was gaslighting her, okay? Yes. So I completely understand that someone is going to absolutely spiral when someone love bombs and then starts to pull away and isn't communicating and you're panicking, okay?
Yeah.
I totally understand. What is also very true in these episodes is that Huda's behavior was completely inappropriate and not okay.
Yeah.
the level of crash out, the name calling. There was one moment when Sierra's like, hey, the name calling, we need to like.
And I like it too because Sierra was like, wasn't even saying it in a way of like it's wrong. She's just like, hey, I don't think this technique is working.
Yeah, whatever you're doing is not working very well.
You're just saying the craziest shit to him, and I don't think it's playing.
No, and there were just the list.
Like, I don't think it's motivating him to step it up.
No, the list goes on and on and on for all the things that were not okay that were happening. But so when it comes to these two, I will stand on the grounds of Jeremiah was love bombing and gaslighting, and then Huda was being that the behavior was and is so not okay. What's going on? These two, it is so toxic. It is not, no.
There's something so insane to watch someone who wants something so bad, and two people who clearly like want to figure out there's something about their connection they really like, but they can't get the other person to change their behavior. So it's just, they got about 3 seconds of patience, 3 seconds of delivering their message that they feel is true, that they want to be heard. And if it's not met with pure, I'm sorry, I forgive you, it's immediately reverting back to what they just apologized for.
Oh, I mean, it's just an absolute mess. It's just an absolute mess.
There's something epic too about just the shouting over like the room, like not keeping it to the conversation, but to be like walking
Again, the
away.
Terminology epic is wild.
Epic as in just like wild to watch. There's something so wild about like watching, like having the conversation and then walking away and then like hurling the insults
just
so
over.
that everyone can hear in some sort of like, clearly she's really wanting like a solidarity moment. Everyone to go, yeah.
Yes, she wants everyone to join in.
Get it, so then it looks even more insane. Yeah.
Well, and it was one of those things too. It's like throughout the episodes, like she does have solidarity for a while until again her behavior becomes so inappropriate that all the women are like, we'll love you, but we can't have your back on what's going on right
really
now.
Trying to be like friends, and then like over time they're just like,
well, there's a threshold where it's like, this isn't okay anymore, dude. Like we can't stand by and say like we're good.
We've all had the friend that like you're trying to support, but you're like, at what point do I totally call them out? And you can see that in their eyes.
Basically, what's going on in these first few episodes before the absolute crash out is Jeremiah and Huda become the couple at a party that makes the entire room uncomfortable because we're all sitting around playing charades, and then one of them gets up and stands up and starts like, imitating like, I don't know what's going on. And the answer ends up being, well, it's my wife because she never knows where she puts her keys and it drives me insane. And then the wife is like, oh, interesting, because, you're just out drinking with your friends constantly. And then
that goes away for a second.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, where are they?
Yes.
And it's been 3 hours.
And they're out in the parking lot fighting.
Yeah, they're in the back fighting, and you never talk to them again because they end up getting in the car and
leaving. They're the couple that like, you're like, oh gosh, I can't talk to one of them for too long because then the other one's going to think I'm flirting with that one. And then one's going to make an awkward like, oh, has your conversation with Jess been nice? And then we're all...
And they're both super defensive of their relationships. So when you kind of go, hey, is everything cool? They're like, everything's fine. And you're like, okay, never mind.
Obviously, that we've never been happier.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, that's what's going on. Also, at the top of episode 9, we see Ace and Chelley, the dynamic. Now Ace is off Amaya, and he's licking whipped cream off of Chelley. Chelley, who was cracking me up so hard, the fact that she would not remove the whipped cream, that she was having so many conversations covered in whipped cream was sending me.
It's funny how they do that with the games, how like they'll whatever they're in, they leave them in. Like when there was the lumberjack one, or like, was that the one where they were like in jelly and stuff like that? What was the other one a couple episodes before when they were like, they were all coated in shit, gross.
Yeah, the baseball game.
The baseball one. And then for 3 hours, they're having to have conversations like in raspberry sauce. Yeah. So like they keep having to do this where they have to sit for 3 hours caked in whatever they just played the game in. And I'm always like, can these people take a shower?
I just was sent when Chelley's having these like heartfelt conversations and her face is covered in like
3 hour old whipped cream. Yeah.
But Ace is licking the whipped cream off. Austin's getting tighter and tighter. And the dynamic with this love triangle, what we see start to happen over these episodes is that Ace, who ended up choosing Amaya just out of nowhere, is now like courting Chelley. Every morning, he's like, here's the hibachi style breakfast that I have created for you.
Yes.
Make sure you're available tomorrow morning because here's the yoga date. When you're feeling sad later, here's the ping pong tournament. Now he's going full-blown courting of this woman. And you're like, Ace, 5 seconds ago, you were hooked up with Amaya, fully shunning me. And then Iris, the new Bombshell, comes in later, and you're like, you know what? I think it's going to be Iris. And then, dude,
you know when people say they have commitment problems? I will say he's the king of commitment problems because he's the king of like, I can't even look at you in the eyes until I have a buffer.
Yes.
And Amaya was a buffer. Austin's a buffer. Like he's the slow burn of the century. He's like, I need the like,
but then there's
you
also
to be with Austin, me to be
games.
with Amaya, and then me to play this game. Now I will say this, just a quick
because
little
Amaya
comment.
was a game, you know?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I felt, Amaya was being used and I felt bad for that. But I will say, Ace, charming guy. You could tell he does this a lot and he kind of has his moves and knows how to make her want him and then he pulls away. He's playing a game. These dates he's coming up with are weak. I mean, I hate to say it. It's like hibachi style breakfast. What does that mean? It means instead of making breakfast and bringing it to you, which is far more nice, you're having to now wait while he just cooks it. Like that's the hibachi. In his mind, hibachi was just like, now I cook
together while he's doing it.
Yeah, and then it was like yoga class, and it's like they just did a little bit of yoga for 5 minutes. Like it was very funny that like it was like these big events, and they were like literally 2 second thoughts. To be fair,
there's not much you can do.
That is true, very true.
He is doing to defend
it was like
him in that
ping pong
way.
date, and they just played ping pong for 3 minutes. Like it was very funny to me. But yes, I get it.
But
more effort than everybody else is doing. I will say that.
Yeah, but him and Taylor really were stepping it up. But Ace also did have a conversation. I'm jumping ahead to I think it was with Iris, where we hear him say that in the past, he's had many situations where it sounds like he got burned.
Interesting.
And how he wanted to get to Love Island and really get to know people and explore to find something. And so I'm wondering with Ace, is a lot of this an unhealthy wall that's been created. Some of these games are an unhealthy wall to protect himself from getting hurt because he's been burned.
Interesting.
Because I think in his heart, clearly the guy is able to read the room. Like he understands the dynamics of people. He's an insightful person, which tells me he's probably a very sensitive person.
Yes.
So maybe he's gotten hurt a lot. So we have kind of this unhealthy process that I'm going to play games, because not only does Ace play games with the relationships, he plays games with everybody in that damn villa.
He's the architect.
He is the architect
He's
of the villa.
He's always pulling things away. I mean, look, can we just fast forward to the very end where he poisons the well? Like he literally gets in Jeremiah and Huda's head, blows their shit to shreds by constantly poking holes. And then at the end, sides with Huda.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a mind fuck is that? If I'm Jeremiah, I'm like, bro, you've been trying to get me off her this whole time.
Did you see Jeremiah's face?
Jeremiah's like, I'm so confused. I've been following your advice this whole time. And then when I finally I rip the Band-Aid off, you all of a sudden go over to her and be like, we choose her. It's like, I will say, fantastic. He keeps everyone on their toes.
He really
constantly.
does. He is the architect of the villa.
100%.
Right.
He's super smart. He knows exactly what's going on. And he knows what to say, when to say it, when to pull, when to push. Like, now he'd get in my head. I mean, it's like, I gotta tell you.
Now the love triangle going down with Austin, Chelley, and Ace throughout these episodes, I do feel like for a while, I was like, Chelley doesn't like Austin. But the more we watched, the more I was like, I think there is something about Austin she likes. Yeah. Because Chelley's a real one. Chelley says it how it is, and she doesn't play games with people. And so I think if she didn't like Austin, there are plenty of other options in the villa that she could have bounced around to, because as we all have seen, everyone is interested in Chelley because she's a goddess, right? So I do think there's something about Austin that she finds maybe pleasant. And then there's Ace, where there's like the crazy chemistry. Now I know, jumping ahead, that ultimately her and Ace do end up coupling up. My wonder and curiosity is this the slow burn, the long time coming, and it's going to actually, now fireworks are going to go off and they're going to lock in? Or there's a little thing in the back of my mind that's telling me that Chelley just she likes Austin and Ace in different ways, but not enough. Like, she likes them and would date them, but it's not like that's the guy. And so I wonder, and I have kind of my fingers crossed because we love the mess, that a bombshell will come in that sweeps Chelley off her feet. Like, I do think as much as there's the big chemistry with Ace, the more I'm watching, I'm like, I feel like Chelley's been observing Ace, which I love about Chelley, is that she doesn't dive into stuff. She's an observation queen. But I do feel like Chelley would go in harder if she really, really, really liked somebody. So I feel like she likes them, both of them, but there's still something missing.
I think, okay, here's my quick analysis.
Yeah.
I think she wants to like Austin.
Yeah.
He's different. There's something weird about him. There's something interesting.
Mushroom Austin.
He's a total creature.
Yeah.
She's never dated anyone like him. But, they have a sweet dynamic. He is very sweet to her.
He really is.
He's always waiting on her and kind of like checking in on her.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely like the fanny flutters, as they say, versus...
Wild.
But that's what they always say,
I know,
right?
it's a wild
But it's either that or the like... this is a safe but sweet option. That's kind of whatever. We know that with Austin. With Ace, here's my take. Mm-hmm. I think they're too similar of people. I think her and Ace are very similar.
Interesting.
I think they're used to being pursued. Mm-hmm. I think they're both, they're not the pursuers. They're not the ones that go after the people they want. They're used to kind of having someone in the relationship that's kind of coming after them. Mm-hmm. So they're both like just way too chill with each other. Like, even though he's doing these little dates, he's not like pushing the relationship forward. They have these little fun dates. Yeah. They sit down.
They haven't physically been pushing the relationship
that's what
forward,
I mean.
for
they
sure.
sit down, they flirt a little bit. They
yeah.
kind of have these like just little surface level cute conversations, and then they break off. But the relationships never progress. They never physically progress. They never kind of excel to the next level. I think they're like stalemated because they're both used to the other person kind of coming on. Yeah. So to your point, I absolutely think the only reason they've been able to kind of take it this slow and survive this long is because there has not been a bombshell for either of them to sweep them off their feet.
Interesting take.
I think the right bombshell for either of them blows them to shreds.
Wow. Okay. You know what? Yeah.
I think they're their best option for now, but the only reason is because there has not been some guy to come in to sweep Chelley and sweep Ace.
I think you're right. I think you're actually
So they're just kind of vibing and really enjoying each other, but they're not like, crazy about each other.
Yeah. Well, we shall see.
Yeah.
Now we shall see. And then there's Austin in the love triangle. And I swear, Austin, sorry, blessings, broken record. This man, it is the same conversation with Chelley every single time.
That's something I love about him.
So every single time he's just like, can I pull you for a quick chat? He's like,
do you like me at all? Or?
I have a question. Like, are we moving forward? And then it shifts to, I just don't think I can do this anymore, man. Dude, I just don't think, I feel like I can't get it. You're talking to Ace this entire time, man. And I can't even watch it anymore. And I think, I don't know. But then in ITMs, he's like, but then I talked to her and I think maybe there's a chance.
And I get that, man. Like you meet with someone that's like, that's kind of out of your league and you're just thinking is unbelievable. It's like, you got to be cut loose. Like he's almost just kind of like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
I don't have a shot, but like you keep kind of saying I might.
Yeah.
So, is that still holding? Like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
He's like, I still shouldn't have a shot here, but I kind of, why do I still feel like I do? Like, that's what's happening every time.
He's like, are you sure?
Are you sure? Because I don't see any reason why I should.
He's like, are you saying this? Or is it the illusion of Chelley that I'm receiving during the mushroom experience
am I out of my mind?
have?
Do you even exist?
He's like, have I had too many caps? And am I
correct?
Am I imagining that Chelley is in front of me telling me that there's a potential?
I swear it's every time. He kind of forgets that. Like,
he loses his high.
He loses it. He's like, wait a second, did any of that really happen or was that all in my mind?
He wakes up.
Then he checks back and he goes,
he's not high anymore. And he's like, did we have that conversation last night? Or no?
And she just gives him enough nibble to stay on board.
And he's like, we did have that
He's like,
conversation.
no, I still like both of you guys. And he's like, fuck, really? Okay, fine. Damn.
Oh my gosh. But let's talk next about, first of all, Nick and Huda's conversation, and then this leather and lace game.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But first, we got to take a quick pause. Family, so joining the villa as a Love Islander sounds like it would be so much fun, but my goodness, I would miss my Lisa mattress. After all the drama and all the banter throughout the day, I need a really good night's sleep, and my Lisa mattress provides that for me. Family, We love our Lisa mattress. I have told you all the lore. We got a twin Lisa mattress for the room. And then one night I slept on it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so comfortable. I had such an amazing night of sleep. And then Evan tried it and was obsessed with it. And we were switching off who got to sleep on the Lisa twin every single night. So we treated ourselves and we got a Lisa for our bedroom now as well. And it is unparalleled. The comfort is supreme. The sleep is incredible. We wake up feeling so rested, and it's not just us. My mom slept on our Lisa twin a few times when she spent the night, and she can struggle with sleep, and she slept so well on this Lisa mattress that she ended up getting one for her own home. So yeah, needless to say, we are fans of Lisa. Even our dogs are fans. They used to never sleep on our bed throughout the day, and I swear, we got our Lisa mattress and they will not leave that bed all day long. The two of them just sleep on the Lisa mattress all day.
Yeah, Lisa's my favorite mattress we've ever had by a mile.
Absolutely.
What's so cool is that they have several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. We personally have the Sapira hybrid mattress. Using the highest quality materials, Lisa meticulously designs and assembles their mattresses in America for exceptional comfort and support. And wow, you feel that comfort and support. And delivery is free, returns are easy, and you have 100 nights to try out your mattress in the comfort of your own home.
And by the way, with Lisa, your purchase has a purpose. Every year, Lisa donates thousands of mattresses to those in need, with more than 41,000 donated to date. They are amazing. Go to lisa.com for 25% off mattresses, plus get an extra $50 off with promo code MOMDAD, exclusive for our listeners. That's LEESA.com, promo code MOMDAD for 25% off mattresses, plus an extra $50 off. Lisa.com, promo code MOMDAD. Remember, no matter who you are, there's a Lisa just for you. Okay, so we end up seeing a conversation with Nick and Huda, which the audio has gone absolutely viral.
Absolutely viral.
Where Huda is like, Nick, I'm a mommy. And he's like, Mama? He's like, yeah, Mamacita? I don't know why this is so
Why did he? What was he? I think what he was doing was he was buying time.
He was processing like if she's saying like I'm your mommy, or like saying like I'm your daddy, I'm your mommy, or if he's like you're a mother, are you a mamacita, or are you like
are you just calling yourself like a mommy?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Are you calling yourself a mommy, or
like how I call myself a daddy?
Yeah,
you know
or
what I mean?
are you
like,
referring to the fact because then he's like you're a mommy of what? She's like a human child.
Yeah, a human child. But you know what's funny? He asked more questions than Jeremiah did.
I wrote that down.
Still to this day.
He was like, tell me about her. How old is
Jeremiah's
she?
like, Jeremiah says, you have a whole ass kid.
He never refers to Huda's daughter as her daughter or her child. He always say kid.
Nick at least was like, oh, that's cute. That's amazing. Well, you know, how old is he? What's her name?
I think it was the best thing that ever happened for Nick and Huda's relationship.
It was so funny to me.
Nick loved the idea that she has a child.
Because Jeremiah later on goes like, and I'm like, kind of trying to figure out how to deal with this baggage. I mean, her child. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like. And
Nick's like, I want to be an uncle. And what I found very interesting, so Nick's all hyped on it. And he gives her like the courage.
Yeah, he's hyped, but
tenacity.
Also Nick's one of those guys that if I'm being super honest, super charming. Super good at responses. But like, you never know what he's actually feeling.
He is because
then he goes over to Jeremiah and he goes, dude, that's a lot, man. And you got to really think about whether you want to do that, man. But he's very good at making people feel special. So he gives you the false sense of like, he's supporting this. And it's like,
when it comes to a one-on-one, Nick will always make you feel special, which is why I think he's the most favorite in the house. Everyone is like best friends with Nick.
He's fantastic.
Minus Austin, who's like, that's Ace's minion or whatever he called him. Everyone is obsessed with Nick in that house.
He's very likable.
And I know we're not talking about Ace, the person, but he's got an ace in his deck personality wise that he throws out.
More political than Ace. Ace will tell you how he feels. Like he'll be like, that relationship's super toxic. And Nick would be like, I kind of am sensing maybe a slight toxicity in the relationship. You know what I mean? He's more politician with his responses and with his kind of.
I found it interesting, and this was a note about Jeremiah, which we'll see as these episodes continue, that as soon as Jeremiah and Nick sat down, and Nick's like, so I heard that Huda has a kid, and you could see Jeremiah was like buckled up, and he's like, I was stoked to hear that. And Jeremiah goes, bro, yeah. Jeremiah is very easily influenced by what the people he are saying around him.
He revealed everything in maybe the last episode, second to last episode, when he said, losing Huda's one thing, but losing all you guys, that's what I'm most afraid of.
The brotherhood.
But that says a lot.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
It
With
really
the way
does.
that he has moved over all these episodes.
Yeah.
That like his boy's opinion matters more than how he feels about Huda. That's just a fact.
Completely. And his boy's opinion is going to absolutely convince him of where he's at. So when Nick's like, amazing that she has a child, all of a sudden Jeremiah's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that. But then when someone else comes in and is like, Huda is not it, dude, it's like, okay, I really need to start thinking about Huda.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He's not being honest. That's why. He's not being honest. And he's one thing we found out about him, he's very afraid of how he looks. And because of that, he's not honest. He doesn't make hard calls.
Yeah.
Like these are all, he should have earlier on pulled back, did the friend thing he talked about later. He should have done all that stuff. Instead, he waits because he doesn't want to look like a bad guy.
Yep. Completely.
And that's why she's calling him a bitch and all this stuff. Because it's like,
crazy.
But deep down, what she's saying is like, you're not forming your own opinions. You're not being your true self. You are just kind of telling me what I want to hear and then telling the guys what they want to hear and then kind
if
of ending
Huda
up.
was not saying it in a wildly toxic way, the way that she could say this to him is, listen, if we're going to be in a relationship and pursuing this, I need to know that you and I are going to communicate and that I'm going to be able to honestly know where you're at, because I feel like you're kind of telling me what I need to hear and I really need to have an honest question with you. But truth of the matter is, she has now created a not safe space for him to communicate anything.
Of course.
Right? So that's where we are. By the way, Olandria, Taylor, all of a sudden we're seeing them stepping it up. All of a sudden, he has Ace teach him and Olandria a dance class. Everyone sits down to watch. By the way, I'd be like, please don't. Everyone was like in the bleachers watching them do this dance. I was like, please. I feel like
this is very silly. It wasn't the most romantic thing in the world, but it was something, and I think she meant something to her.
Yes, and then he dips her, and they start making out. Everybody's screaming. We'll talk more about Olandria and Taylor later, but we see him starting to, before the bombshell comes in.
Yep. And I like that the guys are calling him out too. I like that they call him out.
Yeah.
Those are good friends in that way, where they're like, hey, you got a really amazing girl on your hands here. Step it up.
It's true. You know, Ace is coming in, like giving him some serious wisdom. Now, is Ace using that wisdom in his own relationships? No. But like we say, those who can't do teach.
Those who can't do teach. Absolutely.
Then we have the leather and lace party. Yes. And family,
my God.
Everyone looked so hot. First of all, I was like, this is my shit.
Dude, we got people spitting in other people's mouths. This is your books.
It was serving my books so hardcore.
I mean, it was not subtle.
It was not subtle. Everyone is in leather and whips and chains. And so what they do is the men get put up on the giant X with their hands cuffed, and each of their women goes up and, you know, punishes them or teases them. Like you said, Hannah literally spits in Charlie's mouth. Huda licks Jeremiah's package over the shorts.
Yes.
Licks it up and down.
The double shorts, yes.
The double shorts licks them up and down. I mean, wild. Now, Austin was the horniest of them all.
This is where you see the, like, 100 people, the millions of sexts.
Nudes
that he talks about earlier. You're like, you're starting to see the like, oh, got it. You know, because he's like, yes, finally I'm home.
Yeah, he's like, let me get on all fours and bark like a dog.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay,
he's
there's
like, this
Austin.
is my happy place.
This is his safe space.
Absolutely.
Well, they are absolutely shocked when, as the men are tied up, 3 bombshells enter the villa. We have Pepe, 27, born in Madrid, lives in LA, pro basketball player, now runs a after school program, which is really cool.
Even though he hates kids,
Even though he's like...
hilarious. He's like, yeah, and I get it too, because kids suck.
He's like, the last 30 minutes, I just want to...
I don't know if I'd admit that. about your business
I was like, maybe
being
don't
on
say that on
television. Like there might be a bunch of like your
television.
clients watching, and they're like, "Oh, it's good to know these guy hates my kids." Anyway, it's kind of a funny honesty moment there.
But he's here specifically with eyes on Hannah and
Yeah.
Sierra. There's Jalen, 27, Georgia. He says he's a traditional Southern country guy. He's a trucker,
Yeah.
and he is here for Olandria.
First time out of the country.
First time out of the country. He's here for Olandria. And then we also have Iris, who is 25
LA.
from LA. Iris is the
So
most
LA.
LA. And by the way, I'm not saying this in an offensive way. I love
No.
my LA girlies. Iris is just, if you
So chill.
If you know, you know. Like if you're from LA, you know when I say that
It's
she's
just
such an LA girl. It
super
is,
laid back, super chill. Doesn't really like kind of just like whoa crazy.
yeah,
like,
it's
mellow,
the
like,
it's the
whoa.
not
Doesn't get
big,
rattled.
It's not
just
big
like-
inflections
No, just like,
in
that's
conversation.
chill.
Like yeah, it's so crazy.
It's always
like,
just right here.
It's it's wild, and
Good
we'll be
or
having
bad,
like
just like,
really
whoa.
intense conversations, but it's all here.
Yeah, I'm so
Always
sorry
here.
about that. Yeah.
Spray tan artist. And
Artist.
the host making a comment. I forget
Yeah,
what he
I don't
said. It
remember.
was so
something
funny.
about being an artist.
Interested in Jeremiah and Nick initially coming
Yeah.
in. So all these bombshells go up and they're making out with every single person. Every single person. Now, Huda.
Yeah, does her back bend.
Well, but this is after Huda
Macked twice.
makes out hard with Jalen and Pepe.
Yes.
It wasn't like she was holding back.
No, she made out hard. And then when Jeremiah makes out with Iris, she leans back all the way to where she can be right in their grill. And like, you better fucking take your hands off my man. Like, so
She calls her a bitch.
Yeah, double standard to the billionth degree.
And she's like, you better quit it right now, bitch. And she's like, oh, no, hell no, Jeremiah. Did I just see your tongue come out?
Right.
Like when she first
So
walks
this is
in,
not
I'm like,
helping
oh,
Jeremiah's
no.
dilemma here. He's
This is
really
not-
feeling trapped.
This is not helping the dilemma at all. And as soon as these three bombshells officially join the villa, it was so wild to me because two things are simultaneously happening. One is that Huda is telling Iris, we're not closed off, but we're essentially closed off.
Yes.
Iris in her head is like, I'm going to hear this from Jeremiah
Right.
himself. As this is happening, Huda is also taking the opportunity to start pulling Jeremiah. And when the new hot woman comes in, is pulling him and being like, you don't do nice things for me anymore. And I'm like, Huda, it's not the time. It's not the time. Listen, honey. Am I here to encourage all of the family members to play games while dating? No, I'm not here to tell you to just game it up while you're dating. But I'll tell you something that's not going to work. When someone walks into a room that you're like, oh, wow, she's hot. I see my freshly new boyfriend or girlfriend just checking her out. Probably the best thing to do isn't to pull your new partner and say, I'd like to provide you a list of all the things I don't like about
You want to make that new bombshell?
That person's going to run and be like, oh, that new bombshell's never been better looking.
You want to make someone hot that isn't you? Right as they walk in the room, start complaining to your partner. That is the fastest way to make the other person look as attractively humanly possible.
This woman that Huda was nervous about. This is when
It's called
Huda
pushing him out the door.
This is when Huda decides to pull Jeremy.
Which is obviously
and
a
say,
response to feeling insecure about the relationship, feeling like she's not cared for, which is all valid. It's just like, yo, be a little smarter with how you're doing this because you are panicking.
This is where we take a note from someone like Chelley, where Chelley, like I said, is an
Wouldn't dare.
but she's also an observation queen.
Yeah.
It's like you have to know when you're in the beginnings of dating somebody, if you react to them and you say, no, don't be that way. This is at the beginning. I'm not talking about like when you're in a proper relationship, but
Yes.
at the beginning, when they do something and you right away like, no, never do that again, da-da-da-da-da, they then will go, okay, I won't do that. They're not making that choice. You're not necessarily observing what they actually do.
No, you're trapping them and then going, no. I mean, like you're trapping them in the way that you're you're trying to kind of get at them, and then you're mad that they didn't do it on their own. And it's like you gotta kind of remain like, hey, I'm making the choice. I'm not trapping people in this relationship.
There needs to be observation time beforehand so that you're able to witness what is this person going to do left to their own devices.
Exactly.
And then once you're in a relationship and you trust the person, then of course you're like, hey, I need to communicate with you. Like, I'm not, when you do this, and obviously communication is so important in communicating your boundaries, but at the very beginning, it is very important to leave room for observation so that they're not just responding to what you're telling them to do, because guess what? Eventually they might stop doing that. But if you watch them and see how they act on their own, you're able to get an idea. Yeah. And Huda is just not allowing
Advice
that
is
to happen.
custom for everyone. Ace needs to be more vulnerable, more open, more honest, care a little bit more, versus the exact same time and play it less cool, versus at the same time Huda needs to play more cool.
Yeah.
Like, just play cooler.
You gotta play it
like
cooler.
They're not owned by you. Because that's what she was basically saying, is that like Jeremiah is in full control of how this goes, as opposed to her. So it's like, yo, take back some of that control and saying, I actually get to have a choice here, and I'm not just begging him to stay with me.
Yes, completely. Absolutely. Well, they end up, she has that conversation with Iris. Yeah. Right? And I know I'm jumping ahead here, but Iris then ends up having a conversation with Jeremiah.
Right. And this is hilarious to me.
And
because he does the ultimate, like the second he did it, I was like, you're the biggest idiot on the planet.
Jeremiah
nice to meet you. Let me complain about my current relationship. I mean, that is,
to be
literally.
To be fair to him, though, he did also stand by it, though, because he's like, hey, listen, because of course she's going to be hearing things around the villa. She's seeing how Huda's reacting. Sure. He's like, to be honest, we've been having a rough day today. It's been a rough one today, but that doesn't then negate how our relationship's been going or how we're going to move forward or whatever.
Yeah, so I could have told you.
No,
hey,
I knew when he said that. I was like,
true, but like, what? Don't bring that up. Just say, hey, you know what? We're in a really we're really close to this, but like we do want to talk to people. You didn't have to go. By the way, this morning we had quite the fight, and I'm kind of wondering, is this vibe for me? It's like, talk about the quickest way. I knew from a mile away Huda was going to be furious if she found out about that.
Of course. Well, she was.
And it wasn't like again, talk about playing it cool. It wasn't a, hey, I'd really appreciate it if you just kind of kept our stuff. It was like, don't you ever tell anyone about anything we talk about.
Yes. But that's the thing. This is the issue. If Huda would have responded when she hears from Jeremiah that him and Iris spoke and that Iris is interested, and what's Jeremiah's response? If Huda would have communicated to him, hey, I'm not comfortable with you talking about where we're at in our relationship with one of the bombshells or a woman that's interested in you. Totally get that. She said, never talk to anyone ever about our problems.
It's like a 2-year relationship, 3-year relationship response to someone who's unhinged. 12 days in, it's
never talk to anybody.
Out of control.
And
it's
also,
insane.
It's like, dude, nothing is more unhealthy than telling your partner that they cannot talk to anyone about their struggles. We are human beings. We need to be able to talk to people about, whether that be therapists, friends, family, about struggles in the relationship. Like, we have to be able to have the freedom and safety to communicate. And she says 10 days in, don't talk to anybody.
I mean, listen, if this isn't like a window into what she's like in a relationship, it's like, listen, take it or leave it. She's intense, and she lays the law down. And you know what it really is too with Huda? It's just panic energy. It's lots of panic.
Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety.
Panic. Everything's a like. Instead of playing it cool, it's panic rage. It's panic lashing. It's all comes from a place of, I'm hurt. I don't want you to leave me.
Yes, it really
results. But it's her trying to play like, I don't care. I'm too strong for this. But it comes across like.
No, it's opposite. All hurt and anxiety. You're right. It's so much.
It's really just trauma, like spilling it on someone else. I mean, it's just like taking all my past experiences and dumping it on you.
And it's very anxious energy. And of course, someone who already has anxious energy is going to be more elevated when they feel that their partner is keeping something from them or keeping an energy from them. As we see later, her saying, liar, even though he hasn't lied about anything.
Oh, it was so funny.
But that feeling, because she knows in that
Something's
underlying
off.
energy that something's off. And so that's going to heighten.
America has protected me against you. It's like, from what?
She's like, I know. Heighten that energy, that anxious energy is going to heighten. And it's just so goddamn toxic. By the way, this is all interweaving. Yeah. All of this drama with these two, with an Iris coming in, is interweaving with the no protein, undercooked pancake situation. Taylor made me a pancake. We find out later that Huda told Taylor to make her a pancake. And so now she's using that and isn't being honest and manipulating Jeremiah by
she's
saying,
too far gone.
just so you know, your friend over there is making me breakfast. And Taylor's like, she asked me to make her breakfast, so I made her breakfast.
It's like deep in there are good points, but they're so clouded and layered with bad reactions that it's like you can't see, like there's no way for Jeremiah to see any of the points.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're just under a pile.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the other Bombshells, as Pepe Hannah situation, some Jalen and Olandria. Let's talk about that. But we got to take one more quick pause. Family. So, I may not be ready to join the Love Island Villa because I am in my mid 30s to late 30s, and I'm also married. And I'm also married to this guy right here. But I'll tell you what, my hair is certainly ready. The hair has grown. It's ready for the villa. It is thicker, less shedding. It's lush, all thanks to Nutrafol. Summer is full of big moments, weddings, vacations, and endless photos. But if you're dealing with hair thinning or shedding, showing up and being present in those moments might feel tough. I mean, I know I felt that way when I was going through my hair struggles, but Nutrafol takes a whole body approach to hair growth, working from the inside out. So the sooner you start, the sooner you'll be feeling confident and focusing on what matters most to you. Because of my hair struggles, I started using Nutrafol over a year ago because I'd heard so many amazing result stories from my friends and family. And wow, I am so glad that I did, because since using Nutrafol, my hair has grown so much when it wasn't able to before. The amount of shedding has decreased so much. My hair is so much thicker. It is so much healthier, and I am so happy. I am a forever fan of Nutrafol. A forever fan.
Yeah, you may have heard of Nutrafol's hair growth supplements and wondered, do they actually work? It's a fair question. Many hair supplements overpromise and underdeliver, but Nutrafol is different. I mean, look at you. You look incredible.
Thank you so much.
As the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, it's trusted by over 1.5 million people and is clinically tested to deliver real results in just 3 to 6 months. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you can get just what you need. And with Nutrafol, building a hair growth routine is easy. Order online, no prescriptions needed. Enjoy free shipping, automated deliveries, and up to 20% savings with a Nutrafol subscription. Plus, get free naturopathic doctor consults and a Headspace meditation membership.
Again, I can't even tell you how happy I am with my Nutrafol results and the ease of mind it's brought me because of the decrease in shedding. I love them. I recommend them to everyone. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code MOMDAD. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code MOMDAD. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code MOMDAD. Okay, so before we talk about a few of the other Bombshells and what's going on with their relationships, I do want to have a moment to address Amaya. Amaya is out here. There is a moment where her and Huda are sitting together, and Huda is like, Jeremiah is just not acting right. He's just not getting it right. And Amaya's like, you know what? I think he is, though. There were numerous moments in these episodes where Amaya came in as the word of wisdom. Amaya came in. First of all, her and Chelley made up. I'm very happy about that. I hope that Amaya apologized to Chelley about the reaction, because you know how I felt about her like projecting onto Chelley, who did not deserve that. But Amaya was cracking me up in these episodes.
Dude, I feel like she had a rough start. It was like she got brought in, a guy picked her, and then looked at her and go, "Don't even look at me, by the way."
Yeah.
So it's Rattle City, right? That'll rattle anyone.
Of course.
Now, Amaya absolutely is unhinged.
There's no question.
But I gotta say, she is very like cute.
I fear saying anything because who knows what the next episode. Yeah. She's so unhinged and I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Sure.
But my God, she's adorable.
It's and the way that she like has a conversation is like you're telling her the location of the Fountain of Youth.
It's like I found the Declaration.
It's literally, she just goes, exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's amazing. And I don't even know. And it's like, what? Listen, her and Austin at the end, I'm like, maybe they do work.
It could work.
Because they truly are one of a, both of them are so one of a kind that you're like, maybe they could kind of somehow make
I know,
this work.
I could actually see it happening, but she was tickling me during these episodes. Like her wisdom coming in, like being the voice of reason in numerous circumstances. When she talks to Charlie later, like she was just adorable. I don't know, man. Like there's something about her that's just so adorable.
She's so unhinged. Anything could happen.
Unhinged,
so we could be going
who
back
knows?
on this.
I could be like, oh, why did I say that?
For these couple episodes, very funny.
God. Okay, so we have Bombshells. We have Jalen coming for Olandria. And Olandria is like, he is a countryman.
I love this for Olandria.
Me too. I love this for Olandria. Olandria deserves literally the world. I continue to be so obsessed with this woman.
She deserved someone else to come in and kind of like shake it up and kind of be like, make her think, do I really like Taylor? You know, and be worshipped a little bit, be dated, be pursued.
She is so incredible. She continues to wow me with just like the emotional maturity. There was a few conversations, I'm now forgetting some of them throughout these episodes, where the way that she was talking about like how she's been single for a long time and she doesn't want to step into her masculine anymore. I'm like, this woman has done so much self-work. She's super
like worked up. Like she knows the work. You know what I mean?
She is so incredible and she's so funny. She's everything. But Jalen seems like a wonderful guy.
Totally.
He really seems like a wonderful, sweet guy. He lost
to Taylor, but not for any other reason than like she needs maybe someone like Taylor.
Yeah, and they have a special connection.
But in any other world, they could have totally worked out.
I completely believe that. And she loves a countryman.
Very sweet.
And he was so direct with her and was like really communicating the way that she needed him to by just being like, I'm here for you. These are my intentions, all of that. And it rattled Taylor, where Taylor was like, oh no, I need to step up hard.
Jalen was also super respectful too. Like he wasn't trying to like make out with her. And you know, he's always okay if I give you a smooch. Like he was very cool. He's a really sweet guy. I feel bad. I feel like he deserved to kind of, you know, have a moment.
Maybe they'll bring him back for Casa Amor. Yeah. You know, have him get a chance to meet some other people. But he was wonderful, and I really enjoyed their dynamic. But I also loved that it did make Taylor step up. Mm-hmm. And I know, again, I'm jumping ahead, but the Taylor-Olandria dynamic, they make me feel something, these two. I've been talking about it. They make me feel something. Them together is just, it feels special. And I don't know if it's going to stay in a best friend zone. I am really, really hoping, Taylor, look at me. Keep it up. Do not let it slide. Because the only fear I have is that now that they're locked in together again, that it's going to be a situation where Taylor then starts letting off the gas and isn't putting work into their relationship. I worry about that.
It's just such an interesting thing because she really likes him. She's kind of made it known, like, you can step up the physical, by the way. Like, we can kind of start making out or whatever. And he still won't do it. So it's just an interesting thing. I can't tell if he's just a shy guy.
Yeah.
I can't tell if he's not super physically attracted to her, but he's got an incredible friendship relationship going on. They keep doing these little justification conversations where they keep going like, it's amazing because we have like, our mind is super connected and we didn't just go straight into the physical. But it's not like they're currently doing the physical.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, we're currently doing the physical and it was nice to build on non-physical. They're still not doing the physical. Even when they're having the like in the moment, like in the photo booth when everyone does go crazy on each other, they just give smooches. So it's an interesting thing where it's like, are they justifying the lack of physical? Are they actually liking it?
Yeah.
Is it kind of one of those things where you kind of, you know, you kind of rationalize things where you go, oh, I like my job. It's great because, you know, it's a job and we all need jobs. But you're like, I hate my life. Or is it like you actually do like that it's going so slow as it? I can't tell what's going on.
I know.
But they have such a strong friendship.
They really do.
That it's like, there's going to become a breaking point though soon, where it's like, if they don't cross over into the romance, another Jalen could come along and it might just be too much.
Yeah.
Or a woman comes in and he goes, whoa, maybe this is what I was missing.
Don't even say that.
I'm just saying.
Literally, don't even put that out into the universe, because if Taylor hurts Olandria, I will lose my fucking mind. Because I think he's adorable. I really
both are
like
very
him.
Sweet together.
But she's everything to me. If he hurts
just
her,
something's up, but I can't.
I think if he hurts her, all of America will lose their shit.
Something's up though. Something's up, and they gotta cross the line soon.
I know.
It's been a couple weeks and they've smooched. It's like something's going on.
Yeah. Well, the other bombshell, Pepe, came in, chatted up with Cierra a little bit because he was interested in her. That felt flat to me. I felt like the only reason, honestly, that I think Cierra was engaging with it is because Iris and Nick were talking.
Right.
And Nick, oh God, he's so Nick. He's just like, you're so my type. I was just staring at her chest the whole time. Nick was very physically drawn to Iris, but in their conversation, I felt like it was very blah.
He's got a lot of chemistry with Cierra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that kind of keeps him.
Yeah.
But I do think if there's anyone in the villa who we might see be swayed with the right person coming in, it's Nick, to me.
Well, Nick is a wandering eye.
Absolutely.
Nick is a wandering eye.
He's a player.
He's a player.
He's a wandering eye guy. I think he really likes Cierra, but I think we do have a little bit of summer camp energy going on. Mm-hmm. The right person walks in. He's always talked about how Sierra's not really his type physically, but like they have the most amazing connection. Like obviously, that's crazy. But he clearly kind of has a like type.
Yeah.
And if that right person walks in, I'm afraid for them in that way.
I'm sticking by that. I really hope that Cierra and Nick, that someone comes in for her and that she bails on Nick, because Sierra's another one who's like a top for me that I'm a huge fan of. Mm-hmm. And she's just so fucking cool. And I'm like, I want her to like find a really cool guy.
Agreed.
And Nick is just not it to me. But I think the only reason that Cierra was entertaining the Pepe conversation was because she was feeling rattled with Iris and Nick.
Yeah.
But Pepe's eyes were mostly on Hannah. And Hannah, when he came around, Hannah was like, oh shit. And she was all flustered and giggly and was all shy girl again with him. She has a thing. She goes shy girl and then mounts.
100%.
Shy girl and then mounts.
Shy girl mounts.
Shy girl mount. And she right away was flirting and all doughy-eyed with Pepe. And at one point we see, there was a couple things that went down. Pepe was like telling Charlie, like, kind of get out of here. Her and I are having a moment. And I was feeling kind of sad for Charlie. And then Hannah and Pepe, she takes him to the speakeasy.
Yeah.
And they start macking. Charlie's tripping out. Hannah and Pepe come back. And they're sitting at the table. And Nick's like, Pepe, you've got a lipstick all over you. Austin hears it, goes back and reports the news to his BFF, Charlie. We find out that the speakeasy is Hannah's spot to make out with Charlie. And I was like, that's some dirty shit. That's dirty. That's dirty. You can't do that. I mean, dirty in the sense of like rude and like, shady. Yeah, like, why are you doing that, girl? And Charlie is devastated. And he pulls Hannah. And, you know, shout out to him.
Yeah.
He actually stayed very...
He's the opposite of Huda. He kept it
chill.
He kept it together.
Even though he was devoed.
But he said, I totally understand this is Love Island. You know, you got to explore things. That he was rattled, but he didn't let her feel bad about it, which I think was huge in them reconnecting later.
Yes.
I mean, to no end, but you know.
Later in the evening, he's in bed and Iris starts talking to him. Not only does Iris start talking to him, Iris says, I want a bird. And she's like, you know what you need? A crow.
That's all you need to say to Jess to win her over. So any guys out there, if we ever get divorced, just mention a crow and you'll have her forever.
That's my fucking bitch. Iris is my bitch. Like, she's out here on Love Island.
You do crow talk?
She is on Love Island preaching the gospel of crows to the islanders. I'm in. Like, she's got me. Regardless of her behavior, I'm going to stand by Iris for forever. She's been great so far. She can do whatever she wants. We're it's the crow community. But she's talking to Charlie, and Hannah's like, "Are you done?" And I'm like, "Listen, girl."
Yeah, like, you just macked with the guy. Hannah definitely is the
girl.
Speaking of Huda, Hannah is also a double standard queen. Because we go forward, Charlie starts just panic talking to people. He's talking to Iris. He's talking to, at one point, he talks to Amaya and does this whole
pulls Amaya, and Amaya starts crying.
And she's like, I think we might have something here. And then Amaya's like, no, you can't do this to me. She's my best friend.
That was so cute. What a girl's girl, by the way. We love to see it. That was a great moment.
But Charlie
where
was literally just trying to protect himself, being like, I might get screwed here. I need to lease whatever.
Which I hated that he did that.
I hated it too. But it was a panic move. I hated it, but it was hilarious.
It was so funny.
That Hannah later on is like, I really think that I handled your betrayal very well, and I forgive you for your betrayal. Meanwhile, she's made out with the guy twice in like the most erotic. She mounted him at one point and was like thrusting and had known him for 3 hours. And she's like, I low-key forgive you, and I might take you back, Charlie. And he's like, I apologize for everything I've done. It was very funny in Love Island to be like, I'll make out with a guy twice. You talk to my friend in like a weird, desperate move, and I forgive you.
Well, I'll say this about Hannah. There was a moment where we see her talking earlier, I think in episode 9 with Cierra. And she's like, girl, I love chaos.
Right.
Like, she's like, I love a good, she said, I love a good cat and mouse. So Hannah's messy.
In a Love
Trust
Island,
and believe
100%.
Hannah's
very
messy.
Young energy to me. Very 20 years old. Just wants to make out with everyone and like nothing serious.
But Hannah's wild. She's spitting in Charlie's mouth.
And then later on, when wild. He leaves, she's like, she even said the body's not even cold. And she's making out with Pepe again. So she goes from crying her eyes out when Charlie leaves, forgiving him for her making out twice, and then being like, I don't know if I can even live without him. And then the next day is like, I really need to explore my time with Pepe. Very funny, very like 20 years old, just Love Island script all day.
It was absolutely wild. It was absolutely wild. Okay. Also, that night, Huda and Jeremiah have sex.
Yeah.
She tells...
Bad timing. That was a stupid move by Jeremiah. He should have absolutely not had sex.
Oh my God. It was like...
That was a panic move.
By the way, these two were fighting. They were in the middle. We were seeing like sprinkles of it the whole time. They were arguing the whole time, but they have this toxic situation where she's telling him you can't speak to anyone ever. And he starts laughing. He's like, you're cute. And you're like, this is so unhealthy, you guys.
And by the way, he doesn't think that's cute. He's trying to kind of like just dumb down the anger.
Yes.
So he's doing these moves
like,
to get her to chill out.
They end up having sex. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to be good.
High school relationship energy.
This is not going to be good. And then we have the Got Wood game.
Yeah.
We have the Got Wood game.
Olandria makes out 17 times. Hilarious.
So funny.
They just chose her every time.
So there was like a bag of beavers, and each beaver was a random person's name. And it was so wild that every time a guy would pick a random, like not their choice, just picking out of the hat essentially. And it was Olandria. And you could then have a secret makeout moment in this cabin.
And it was all fun and games, but this was another big crack in the Huda Jeremiah thing because Jeremiah made out with Olandria in a big way. The door opened accidentally for a second. Huda saw it. She got super pissed about it because she's doing the like, you didn't have to actually make out. You could have just chilled in there. Mm-hmm. So that was that was another big kind of push in the wrong direction for them.
I was shocked that he made out with Olandria.
Me too. It's like a dumb, it's like make out with Iris or like, but you're blowing your shit up for
Huda
like
didn't
just a friend.
Care that she said that she didn't care about Olandria, but it was just like the energy of...
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying at least make out with someone who might be an option for you.
Yes.
But making out with Olandria is like a no-sum game. It's like you're not winning anything. Yeah. All you're doing is messing up the possible vibes.
He wanted to feel something.
He feels dead inside right now.
He also wanted his boys to be stoked.
Proud of him.
Yes, he wanted his boys to be stoked. And so he was like, I'm going to play the game. And later when Huda's talking to him, she's like, you didn't have to be. There was no rules
like,
that you
trying to have fun.
had to make out in the cab. He's like, well, I'm not going to go in there and not make out.
Let me go golfing. That was his, that was his like, for the first time ever, I went golfing even though she was still mad at me and I didn't cancel on my boys. That's what that was.
Yes. And then I forget who Huda during the game. Yes, Jalen. Jeremiah then chooses Huda to grind.
The grind thing.
Jeremiah chooses Huda. And it's like...
Because he was trying to kind of be like, let's have fun.
Jeremiah's out here. He's like, let's have a good time. He's like, whatever we've been doing, the love bombing that I've been doing, it's way too serious now. I don't want this anymore. So let's like get freaky in the villa.
And she went 10 times hard to make it count for something.
He's like, let's get freaky in the villa. I want to have fun now. Let's talk about threesomes.
But he also knew that Jeremiah wasn't like pursuing her. So
Jalen, yeah.
Sorry.
Jeremiah knew
Jalen wasn't pursuing her, so that's also kind of a safe way. So he was kind of going safe. He was like, I'll hook up with Olandria, who's not into me, and you can hook up with Jalen in this fun way, and it's a nice fun, and she's like not fun.
Yeah. Well, in the Got Wood game, it's Charlie versus Pepe.
Yeah.
They're both trying to mac with Hannah harder and see who's like got the better game with Hannah. And when they get back to the villa, Pepe and Hannah, he takes, by the way, this is when Charlie has the conversation with Amaya, which again is just so wild, but Pepe takes Hannah and
that's when she does
they're having another make out.
I mean, that's when she mounts him, I think.
He grabs her throat.
Yeah, no, it's intense.
They have pretty intense chemistry.
They have very intense sexual chemistry.
They have very intense sexual chemistry. And then after seeing Pepe and Hannah's wild chemistry, later that evening, Hannah has a conversation with Amaya. Amaya tells her that Charlie was like, you want to hook up with me, essentially. And Hannah then is like, you know what? Pepe and I have a wild chemistry, but I've done this before.
Yeah.
And Charlie is like my best friend. And I feel actually
stimulates
really...
my mind. I think she said something like that.
No, that was Olandria was talking about a mind stimulator. She wants a mind stimulator. But Hannah was talking about like how it's like a best friend for her.
Yeah.
And then Hannah goes to Charlie and she's like, I'm really sorry for the way I've handled everything. And I just want you to know, like, you're the one. I can't find anyone better than you. Like, it's you
Let's
forever.
Get married
it's
tomorrow
you forever
in
and
Vegas.
always. And they're like kissing passionately. Okay. It's like a Hallmark movie. And what I can't figure out is if this is actual, like, you found someone, or if this is like we're serving this to the audience to try to stay in.
I took it as like, we're just super insecure right now. Everyone's kind of on edge. We don't know what we want, and we're young as hell.
Because it was so dramatic.
But it's just young as hell. To where it's like when you're 16 years old and you have your first like significant other, you're married for 30 years.
Yeah, but
like,
Charlie's 27 to 28.
I'm just saying they both kind of have that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very young energy where it's just like, we went through our ups and downs. And it's like, you mean you made out with a guy twice in one night and now you're coming back. It's like, you know what I mean? It just felt almost like Jersey Shore. You know what I mean? It just felt like...
That's true.
Crazy.
Well, again, as this is happening, we have Nick pulling Jeremiah, men pulling Jeremiah and being like, so Huda's reaction to the Got Wood game, like, you're going to be okay with that? Pepe's like, you know, what happens in real life? Like, is she going to be checking her phone constantly? We heard earlier when Jeremiah and Huda were in bed, she's like, will you share your locations with me?
He's
You're
like, that's crazy.
Oh gosh. Like, the men are like, yo, Jeremiah,
a little much here.
Are you cluing into the fact that she is going to be spying on you at every turn?
You're going to have to be out to dinner with your friends and have her on FaceTime, like in the corner, just monitoring you.
She'll be set up at the table. You'll have her own chair during your friend's dinner with the FaceTime. And then we get a shock because Ariana comes in and America has been voting, and it is a recoupling, and America has been voting who they want the new Bombshells to couple up with. They have Jalen couple up with Olandria, Pepe couple up with Hannah. That's a drama because her and Charlie basically just declared their undying love to each other. But Hannah doesn't have a huge reaction to it. She's like, I could tell when Ariana was like, Hannah, how do you feel about it? I listened to what Hannah said. Hannah was like, it's surprising. She didn't say anything to cut off a potential connection with her and Pepe, even though she had just told Charlie that she's like, there's no one else but you. And then Iris is coupled up with Jeremiah.
Yeah, which was a huge blow up.
It was the mouth drop of the century. Everyone's face. Huda's like, what? Ace is laughing. Ace is literally laughing during this. And this whole thing rattled me so much because I was just watching. I kept pausing and going back and watching everybody. Iris was interesting because Iris kind of stood 10 toes down. Iris didn't lean in and apologize. Oh, Huda, I'm so sorry. She wasn't like, oh no. She kind of just sat there and was just observing, which I found I liked. It was like, this wasn't Iris's choice. It's not her fault. America voted for this. But Huda, it is so extreme. It is so extreme.
Yes.
And what I kept thinking about is this has to be the biggest mind fuck ever because you're stuck in this villa. You're not watching what's happening.
Right.
You're just in it.
Yeah.
You have no access to your phone. So like, she's like, it's like, does America hate me? Do they hate Jeremiah?
Mm-hmm.
Do they not want us to be together for some reason? And you have to be just grinding like you cannot believe.
Which they did.
But can you imagine? I have to say, again, Huda's reactions to everything.
See, I don't think Jeremiah was shocked at all. I think that he was shocked. Well, but because he felt it. America felt what Jeremiah felt.
Yes.
That's what it was. It was like Jeremiah who's feeling like this is a lot. I'm feeling a little.
But also I wonder too, I think there's a part of it that America, before Huda started crashing out, America was like, Jeremiah's love bombing Huda.
100%.
So there's a level of like, who knows why America did it.
By the time it got
but
to America
like, they shouldn't be together.
America felt like how the Friends felt, where it was just like, this is too much. This is insane. You know what I mean? Like,
and so, but I, again, not to validate any of the responses, but I was thinking about if I was somebody who was like in the couple that had been together since day one, and then they split us up, I'd be panicking like, what's happening on the outside? All I'd want, like the idea of not being able to grab a cell phone and look online and see what's happening. Does everybody hate me? Or is this guy doing shit that's online that's whatever? I don't know. Well, like I'd be panicking.
I think what I loved was just kind of how they both rationalized it in their head, how like America's saving me from them.
Both of them.
So then they both come in the conversation the next day and they're just like, America saved me because of this. And then Jeremiah's like, I think it's the other way around. And then she's like, you say America hates me? It was just funny how they both are like, I'm perfect, so it must be America hates them. It was very funny.
I want to talk more about the Huda, but what ends up then happening with this recoupling is that the people that are left single and someone has to leave are Taylor, Charlie, and Huda. And they find out that the Islanders have to vote who leaves. Everyone sobbing. Amaya, no, I don't want to. Please don't make us do this. No. Like, I mean, that would suck.
That was insane.
That would really suck. But when they're voting for who gets, right before they start voting, Charlie steps forward. This is one of my favorite things that's happened on Love Island ever. Is everyone sobbing? No, we don't want to vote. Charlie steps forward.
And everyone goes,
no. Everyone goes, Charlie, no, because they all think he's about to be the sacrificial lamb.
He thinks he's going to go, guys, I'm going to leave.
Because there's Taylor and Huda. They've been here since day one. Opposite. And Charlie goes, everyone, I just have to say, as the king of Birmingham. And everyone's like, Charlie, no. And he's like, Hannah and I had an amazing conversation right before this bonfire. And her and I, we've connected in a way that I can't explain. So consider that in your voting.
Yeah,
and
they're
he
like,
steps
oh.
back. Oh my
He like did a whole pitch to stay on.
God, that was everything.
So funny.
That was so bad.
I was dying.
It was so funny.
It's like the hero we didn't deserve. Oh,
and we're like, he's just trying to vie for himself.
He's just trying to sell himself on this.
Some wild moments. Austin said to dump Taylor and then he's like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah, but you know what? I will say that was a non-vote, so it's a good way to kind of like. I would have told Taylor it was a non-vote. I would have been like, I intentionally did that to non-vote. No one's going to vote against you, Taylor. So I just did it as a way to kind of like, not.
But it's rough because him and Charlie are best friends, and then him and Jeremiah are close. So it's like, well, I guess what are you supposed to do? But Ace wants to dump Huda, and he goes off. He's like, them being locked in is bullshit. They've got hidden agendas. I don't buy it. It's bullshit.
Which makes no sense for him then siding with Huda. Two episodes later.
I think it's because he wants to test Jeremiah.
Yeah, that was just so
I think it's a game he wants to test him.
It was just so weird for him 2 episodes ago to get rid of her. It's one thing if he chose Charlie to leave.
Yeah.
Then chose Huda to stay later as like a way to be like, I like you both, just you shouldn't be together. But to get rid of her, to try to get rid of her and then 2 episodes later choose him over your friend.
I think Ace is trying to be the architect.
Yeah,
Ace is trying to be the architect and is trying
to see what she does.
To see if Jeremiah is really done with her, and he's trying to test them, which is an insane move, but I think that's what he's trying to do. So Charlie ends up getting dumped, and Hannah is crying to a level she's been widowed with a man that she's been with for 45 years, and 100%. They have 5 children together. Yes. She was like dry heaving crying. She was crying so hard it was like she was about to vomit.
Yes.
And just like scream crying.
Next day she's making out.
Then Charlie's holding her, and he's just like,
have a movie exit.
He's like, I've got you. And by the way,
don't forget me in the afterlife. I mean, it really was that. It was like, it was Jack on the board in Titanic, like, falling into the depths. I mean, that's what it was. And it'd be like if the girl in Titanic just started making out with a guy on the other board.
He's like literally like they're head to head, and he's just like,
find me on the outside.
He goes, promise me when you're out of here, if you don't see anyone, promise me I can come and see you.
I'll find you, darling.
And their heads are together, and he's stroking her head.
She's like, okay, bye.
And she's sobbing, and he then leans in and whispers in her ear, you're such a strong, brave girl.
God.
He goes, you're such a strong, brave girl. I'm like, that's my books.
Yeah, very
I'm like, this is like one of my audiobooks.
And then she's just like,
Zach said,
wipe the tears
you're
anyway.
such a strong, brave girl. I'm like, make it a ringtone.
Borderline good girl, you know what I mean?
It was borderline, you're a good girl. Yeah. Make it a ringtone immediately.
And then the next day, she's just like, anyway, who's down to make out? So funny. She makes me laugh. Listen, it's heartbreaking, but it's very
No, I'm never going to get the Charlie thing, like why people weren't vibing with Charlie. And I'm really sorry if he's done something terrible and I'm not aware of it because I haven't seen anything online, because I could then be like kicking myself for saying this. But like, I don't know. He's so attractive. His accent's everything. He wasn't bad in the villa.
Bad guy.
I mean, the Amaya thing was kind of wild, but I get it. He was panicked, trying not to leave. I don't understand why more people weren't into him. I don't get it. And I don't get why America wasn't trying to split him and Hannah up. Like they're trying to get rid of Charlie. I don't understand. Please tell me why. Like seriously, go in the comments and explain to me what it is about Charlie that I'm missing, because I'm like, I don't know. I would choose Charlie. I don't know.
Makes no sense.
I don't get it. But okay, so after then Charlie ends up leaving, I mean, the chaos absolutely erupts.
Yeah.
Huda is sobbing. We found each other. It's not our fault. It's the way God wanted it to happen. It's like, don't bring the higher power into this, Huda. Don't bring a higher power.
There's one thing God's not involved in. If there is a God, he's not involved in this. I'll tell you that much. He wants no part of this.
If there is a God, God does not want you bringing into this mess.
God is 0% involved in Love Island and its outbringing. So don't come in here and be like, God has a plan, because there is no plan for this shit. This is hell. I mean, this is hell. Like, this is like, in his mind, he's like, this is hell.
It did feel hellish watching these islanders who like were so connected get like like Olandria and Taylor get like torn apart, and Hannah and Charlie like, and it was like America's like, we want to watch it get destroyed. Like it was crazy. Like it was a very weird psychological like situation. But all hell breaks loose because the boys are getting into it. The boys are like Ace is standing up and he's pacing, and it's just like, listen, the two of you, it's bullshit. I don't buy it for 2 seconds. This is ridiculous. You guys have hidden shit going on. I think Ace thinks they're trying to win this and get followers. Right. I think Ace is like, this is their
ploy. Which we know is not the point. At least it really doesn't seem like it. But he's going like something feels way off.
I don't feel like that's what they're trying to do. I think they're just both toxic, and that's what I think ended up happening. And it's explosive, and Huda is absolutely losing it. And I could not. So then Olandria is talking to her and speaking words of truth, because Olandria doesn't know what's happening on the outside, where she's like, hey, maybe you should have the perspective of like, this is America is seeing something you're not, and maybe they're trying to help you in the situation and thinks this isn't good, because Olandria's had it out for, she's sniffing something with Jeremiah this whole time. So she's like, something's off. So as soon as she says this, Huda goes from like, does America hate me, to, oh my God, my eyes have been opened to the truth. She talks to Ace. Ace is like, listen, you two, we were locked. I don't know, there's something off. And she's like, you're right. There is something off, and it's Jeremiah. And America knows that he has been betraying me and he has been lying to me. And this woman is walking through the villa, is in the shower going, he's a fucking bitch. He's a fucking liar. And she keeps calling him a liar. And I'm like, how did we get from this to this? Like
30 minutes
you
ago,
have no context of what America sees that makes them want to tear you apart, and you have now begun calling him a liar. No context.
He didn't lie about anything. Sure, there's a lot of issues there, but he didn't like cheat. She just created a full fake narrative in her brain to justify it.
A completely
She's like,
fake
I'm
narrative.
perfect, so the only way is if they hate him.
A completely fake narrative. Now, I will say it was bewildering to me. The thing I'll fault Jeremiah for, the one thing in this specific scenario, the fact that he did not go to Huda and talk to her is bananas, Evan.
I just don't even get it.
It is bananas. Imagine being coupled up, again, even for a day. Even if you're coupled up for a day and you get torn apart, you just go and you talk to somebody and you say, hey, so that happened.
And
that's
we see
crazy.
later on, Nick's like, I lost respect for you,
Nick said he lost respect for him because he didn't go and speak to him.
So like, it was kind of one of those things.
Shout out for Nick.
I thought it was really awesome. It was like, hey man, like,
friend.
Listen, we don't think you're good together. No one does. You guys are toxic, all this shit.
It's a mess.
But Jeremiah is so not solid in his own kind of like root that he's just kind of floating around, and he's not like just being honest and real about how he feels. So then he's doing these weird moves, and it's like, dude, all you had to do was just pull her for a chat and be like, hey, let's talk about this. I care about you, but I do think we have some issues. Let's figure this out. Instead, it was just like, I'm not going to talk to her for the rest of the night. Go into bed with the new woman. Wake up the next day. Go into my date. Be gone all day. Not one word. And
then not talk to you again for
then come
numerous
back from
hours.
the date and then just go hang out with the boys and not even look at her. I mean, that was that's what drove her to pure wildness, was truly that. Now, again, what she did was so out of pocket, but I will say, like, I don't care who you are. If the person that you kind of feel like you might get married to,
he said, you're my entire world.
If and you just had sex the night before, and the person you in your brain are thinking you're going to introduce to your child and everything, doesn't check in on you after he gets recoupled, doesn't check in on you before he leaves, and doesn't check in on you before he gets back from his date with his new girl, you are going into a mode of like, have I lost my mind?
Yes.
Because you're like,
now,
4 hours
do
before.
I understand after him hearing her screaming in the shower that he's a fucking bitch and a liar?
I'm not
that I don't want to.
Anything. I'm more just going like, that was an insane move.
You still have to have, the decency. And by the time she's screaming in the shower that he's a bitch and a liar, it's been many hours that he hasn't then. Like, what Jeremiah needed to do was and I'm shocked that he didn't. The second that recoupling ends, the second that Ariana
How do you not go have a conversation?
leaves the villa, you go straight to your almost essential girlfriend at this point, the way that you guys are acting. You go and you talk to her and it's like, okay, what are we going to do?
That was wild to me.
I don't have any expectation of him
to be like,
sitting there brushing her hair, being like, baby, I love you and I'm so sorry. But just to be like, hey, we got to talk about this.
Or even the conversations people have when they get back from Casa Amor. And they're like, yo, by the way, I cheated on you. By the way, I love this new person. By the way, I never liked you. That's a conversation still.
It's a conversation.
So even if you are the wrong person in the wrong 100%, everyone deserves a conversation.
Everybody.
So for him to not pull her for just a single conversation was one of the most wild moves of all time.
It was crazy. I laughed really hard when after she had her conversation with Ace, she shook his hand.
Yeah, that was really funny.
It was like a meeting.
It
was a meeting of the minds.
You know when you're out of it? You know when you're like losing your mind and you just like you start shaking people's hand? Because you're just like, I don't even know who I am anymore.
When she shook his hand, even AC was kind of like, okay, like this is weird. Like what just happened? It was like, that was a very nice meeting with you. Oh, and then because they had the conversation too about how she was like, listen, I'm a mom. That's why I act this way and whatever. Sure. He's like, listen, I was raised by a young single mom. I get it's not easy to date, but let's come
back to reality here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, side note, just about Ace quickly. He had been fully starting to pursue Iris. When Iris came in, he was fully pursuing her, and they actually were having some like very vulnerable conversations. Like with Amaya, I was like, what's going on? With Iris, I was kind of like, interesting. There might be something here. Yeah. They're getting into these like deep conversations that I haven't seen Ace get into, and he was seeming like way more vulnerable with her. And I'm like, oh my God. Is he going to fully, after all of this with Chelley, where he's like, dating plan. And then all of a sudden Iris, he's like, actually, I'm pursuing Iris. And poor Chelley was like, are you fucking kidding me?
After all this.
It did shift the second that Iris got paired up with Jeremiah. I don't know if it's because Ace then got like hot and was super frustrated and got consumed with that. And then almost went back to Chelley like a comfort blanket. Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, 100%.
Because then as soon as Jeremiah and Iris coupled up, we stopped seeing Ace interact with Iris at all. And then of course we see the final recoupling and it's not Iris. So it's like interesting. Yeah, I don't so I do have curiosities about that. I don't know how he's going to keep moving forward. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
Because seeing how he literally was like wooing Chelley then and then went full board with Chelley and then pulled back because of Iris and then shifted back to Chelley was odd.
I agree.
Don't love that. And Iris was vibing with Ace. She was liking Ace.
She was liking
Ace. She's cool. I like
really
Iris.
Cool.
I like
really
Iris.
Laid back, very cool.
Yeah.
Excited to see what she does.
Well, the next morning, everyone's in their new couples in bed, and they get a text at 5 a.m. that they're going to go on a boat. Jeremiah's like, fuck. Hannah's like, Hurricane Huda is going to be in full swing when she wakes up. And when we see the footage of Huda waking up in the dark, just creeping around and like looking in their bed
waking
and
Taylor up. They're like, where are they? He's like, I don't know.
I'm like, oh no, this is not good. This is not good news. Ace is trying to bring the villa back together and it's like, come on, everybody. Like, it's going to be good. We're good. Trying to woo Chelley, but Huda is just not.
She's on one.
In a good space. The boat crew, their dates, everybody, all the dates go well.
Yeah, just nice.
Pepe and Hannah, they're now coasting. They're all.
A new couple,
she's like, I've seen a new side of him, and they're fully. Jalen and Olandria are having the massage, and they're vibing with each other. Jeremiah and Iris actually seem like she has a personality where she's able to like be a salve to him almost.
Very chill.
And be like, hey, you know what? Like, it's all good, but I feel a little awkward, but like, are we down to get to know each other? And he's like, yeah, for sure. Like, let's be down to get to know each other. I'm like,
He's like, I think this is going to end pretty soon.
Oh. And then when they return, Huda in the sunglasses sitting in that beach chair while they're all walking in will forever put it in a museum. It will forever be an iconic
the biggest I don't care,
image.
But I care so much image of all time. Like going out of my way to not care means you care more than anything.
And the boys get together. Jeremiah still hasn't spoken to Huda. The girls get together, but Huda cannot concentrate. She's like, I'm sorry. I know that you all are happy, but I can't fucking do this anymore. That's when she sneaks up to where the men are talking. Yeah. And Nick starts to have the conversation where he's like, I don't respect how you've been handling this. And Jeremiah's like, you guys want me to leave Huda? And then I try to pursue Iris. You guys have a problem with that because I'm not whatever. Huda's hearing all of this. And her anger bubbles up so much that she does the walk by And she's like, do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, he said something like, do you guys want me to explore or not? And then she goes, by all means, explore.
Yeah. By all means, explore. And she flips him off and goes, fuck you. And she goes back to the woman. She is screaming, you're a fucking bitch. You're a pussy ass bitch. I mean
she's going, it is
like,
burn it all down.
It is like what you see on Instagram when people like capture something crazy and it goes viral, like outside of a bar. Like a drunk at like 4 a.m. bar fight. That is what that's what we're dealing with sober at like 2 p.m. The sun is still high in the sky and this is going on. And she says, Iris is just a fucking scapegoat for him to stay in the game. And I laughed so hard because she said, Iris isn't a scapegoat instead of that she's a scapegoat. So I don't know if Huda thinks the term is a scapegoat and it's being used as a way for Jeremiah to get out of something. I'm like, it's not a scapegoat, and that's also not what scapegoat means. So
Amazing.
We're wrong on all fronts right now.
Amazing.
Iris is just an scapegoat.
Ride your goat all the way to safety.
She then is like, I'm going to talk to Iris. Everyone's scared.
Yeah. The guys are like, yo, go check on her because she might swing on her.
The women follow up. The men won't leave, even though she's like, you guys got to go, because they are literally afraid that Hood is going to get into a physical altercation with Iris. Iris is like shaking. And she's like, how'd the date go? And he's like, she said he's open to exploring other connections. And she's like, bitch. Did he mention me on the date? And then my favorite was, what was the date? And Iris is like, I don't know, just like
sat on the beach.
She's like sitting down on the beach and she goes, oh, my dream date. Cute. And he knows that.
Yeah.
I fell out of my chair.
What could he have done?
Iris is like, I don't know. We were just sitting on the beach. He goes, oh, cool. Dream date.
Fantastic.
She went like, I don't know. We took the city bus.
Just went to CBS.
Classic.
My dream date.
Took the city bus to a hole in the wall. Oh, my dream date.
Yep. City bus. He knows
dream
that.
Dream date. Yeah. Got up for work to our 9 to 5. Dream date. He knows that. He should know better.
That's when you're just in full lose it mode.
And that night, Jeremiah finally pulls Huda and he's like, hey, I apologize for last night. I froze. I didn't know what to say. He's like, I'm sorry. Like I had so much going on. I couldn't even process. Busy. And it was like, listen, that's some bullshit excuse. Like 100%. You needed to just talk to her. But she is just coming at him. You play the victim. I notice patterns. You're selfish. And again, there are truths to what Huda is saying, but everything, and it is true, but everything is getting thrown out the window because of how inappropriately she's behaving. And that leads and then into the most recent episode that we've seen, episode 14, and they're still talking. And she brings up the pancake thing, and he's like, how in the world are we still talking about the pancake? She's like, it's not about the fucking pancake.
Right. I want you to want to do the dishes.
And then he tells her he's never lied, that Iris is not my type. He's like, I'm not interested in Iris. She's not my type. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, you broke my heart. You broke my heart. Essentially, I'll say this. This entire episode, as Nick says, I think this relationship is a little bit toxic. A says, a little bit.
What are you talking about?
And then Nick says, it's sucking my freaking energy.
Which it is. I mean, it's destroying the villa's vibe.
The rest of this entire episode, up until the very end, where we have the recoupling, it is the Islanders frustrated and exhausted with Huda and Jeremiah, and them all avoiding conversation with Huda and Jeremiah or watching Huda and Jeremiah argue.
Exactly.
That's what the whole episode
They're like, no one can focus on their own relationship because they're just taking up the whole thing. And I will say this is Huda's fault. Because Huda keeps doing the thing where she has one conversation, then brings it over to the whole other group and starts going, isn't he the worst? Isn't he the biggest loser in the world? Yes. And then they all leave her. And then they have another conversation. She walks over and goes, isn't he the biggest loser in the world? So I will say Jeremiah did not bring it to the group. He keeps it to himself. He just kind of is sitting there. And Huda just keeps like destroying the group with all her drama. Which is just so brutal.
Jeremiah comes to Huda and is like, hey, I think I just want to start as friends, which
I understand the sentiment, but like that's impossible.
In a perfect world, sure, I guess. In the perfect world, you two are not together because you guys are toxic together. But like, you can't. That's just not going to fly. No. But her response to just starting as friends is unhinged, out of control.
You fucking idiot.
Loses her mind, runs away, comes back, keeps yelling at him, runs away, comes back. And this is moments before their legs are tangled as they're talking. And you're like, this is a chaos.
She just keeps waiting for him to like on his hands and knees beg for forgiveness. And there is no other version that's the
only version that she's going to accept is him literally like coming to her being like, please take me back. I'll do anything and everything. I will go to culinary school to learn how to create the perfect pancake.
I'll go to pancake school.
Sign up for pancake school.
I mean, yeah. Other than
I'm enrolled in pancake elementary.
Other than that, she has zero interest in what he has to say.
No, it's nothing. Nothing he says is going to work for her, and everyone's just
exhausted. And
absolutely exhausted. Her, Iris and Jeremiah, they speak.
Yeah.
You know, he tells her, he's like, the last thing I want you to feel like is plan B. Like, I do want to explore. I'm still talking to Huda. I'm trying to figure this out, but like, I am wanting to explore with you. Etc. Yeah. And then once nighttime comes, you know, the whole group stands together. Huda sees Jeremiah pull Iris's chair out and she runs away sobbing.
She's so fragile.
I mean, it's
now she's so fragile. She thought she saw her husband, swear to God. I mean, she literally was like, this is done. We could leave right now.
And the only thing then before the recoupling happens is that we have the Austin Amaya moment where he's very quickly getting over Chelley. It makes me laugh because episodes ago, Austin was like, Amaya scares me.
Right.
She was walking towards him. He's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And now he's spitting her, flipping her. They're giggling and laughing.
You know, you just like, it's like you get super enveloped and you have short-term memory. So it's like, it's summer camp.
Yeah.
You know, in the real world, are they even possible? Maybe not. But like when you have no other options, you're just, oh, well, you are interesting. I should check you out, you know. That's what's going on there.
I'm just waiting for Casa Amor, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm literally like on edge waiting for Casa Amor.
If they cast it right, it will blow the whole shit to pieces.
I can't wait. Yeah. Please cast it right, Love Island, I beg of you. You know what? They might bring Charlie back.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
If Pepe and okay, they have to bring Charlie back because now that Pepe and Hannah...
They wouldn't tempt any of the current women. I guess Hannah.
So if Pepe and Hannah are now doing well and she's like, you know what? He's deeper than I thought. We're actually super connected. And now like we're together and they're cruising and you know, they're going to have Casa Amor in a few episodes. It's coming. So if they keep Charlie in Fiji, bring him back for Casa Amor, it's perfect. Because then it'll fully test the Pepe-Hannah connection and we'll see actually, because I can see Hannah then the entire time being like, my love, my life. Charlie's like, my strong, sweet, brave baby girl.
Back a horse.
I've brought back a stallion to show you our love. They're making out. And then she ends up ditching Charlie to go back to Pepe. 100%. Like it's going to be chaos. But then we have our recoupling, and this recoupling is so fun. They're so interesting with how they do things. So it's a doors.
Right.
It's doors. Each woman has a door, and beforehand they walk through the door. They lock in who they want to couple up with. Okay, and then the men come up to the door to the woman that they want to be with, and if they try to open it and they go through, that means they're a match. If not, they're not the person. It's locked. They're not the person the woman chose. Okay. So Nick and Cierra, they couple up. Again, Iris was more interested in Ace and Jeremiah. If Iris would have been vibing on Nick, we could have had another love triangle. I don't trust Nick for 2 fucking seconds. So just wait to see what's happening with Nick. But Nick and Cierra are together. Pepe and Hannah connect. America got it right. Yeah. It's again, Charlie's body's not even cold. America did it right. Austin ends up choosing Amaya. Yep. I looked at you when we were watching this. I said, Austin is emotional. He is knee-jerk reaction. Yeah. I said he had the last good conversation he had before the recoupling was with Amaya. He's going to choose Amaya. Right. He does. He said, I want to explore something new. And Chelley in ITMs is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She's like, when did this happen? Because let's remember, Chelley doesn't know that a few episodes before they kissed and were having a vibe. Chelley doesn't have any idea. They never told her.
No.
So Shelley's like, what?
Yeah, right.
Is happening right now. So just a side note, everybody, that Chelley communicated the entire time with Austin that she was interested in both Austin and Ace and was always very upfront and honest. Austin was not communicating.
But again, it didn't really matter because, she chose Ace and like...
But what I'm saying, though, is maybe she wouldn't have, and Austin doesn't know that. Austin just put her in a situation where he left her vulnerable to be single and eliminated.
But I'm glad that Chelley... Like, I'm glad that she chose Ace on her own.
I'm glad she chose Ace on her own, too.
It was a clean,
I'm glad, but what I'm saying is...
It could have been weird.
Let's not let Austin slide on this.
No. It
because
been
Austin
weird.
Didn't communicate with her that he was interested in Amaya at all.
It all happened like in the last hour.
Fully blindsided her.
Yeah.
And if Chelley would have chosen Ace...
Yeah.
And if Chelley would have chosen Austin, she would have been left and gotten potentially eliminated. Is all I'm saying about Austin, everybody. I'm throwing out there. Ace and Chelley end up coupling up. Ace says a lot of really nice things about her. Yeah. And everyone's like, even Ariana's like, finally, you two are a couple. The will they, won't they is ridiculous. Jalen goes up to the door, to Olandria's door. It's locked. Jalen is officially single and up for elimination. Taylor goes up to Olandria's door. It opens. They are a couple. And she said, I'm home again. And I got a little emotion. It was very sweet.
Very sweet.
Taylor, you better not fucking break her heart.
No. Step it up.
And then we have Jeremiah. And dude, when he's standing between Huda and Iris's doors, Evan and I were like sweating.
Well, it was also weird how he did it because he kind of did it playfully. And I thought that was like disrespectful. Like,
it was.
Listen, you guys have gone through so much and you can say that Huda's been off the
a literal
Richter
nightmare.
Scale, nightmare from hell. He's been not honest about his feelings. He's been doing all this shitty. But like the one thing I will say is like, it's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
So when he did the whole like went on hers and then jumped off onto Iris's and then kind of looked at the guys like, haha. I don't know. It's kind of like back to Nick's point where it's like, you guys have your issues. So it's like, at least just show respect on like your character matters.
Yeah.
Not according to what they do. So
yeah.
Don't, you know what I mean? So I thought it was a shitty move to do this whole kind of hop over back and forth laugh thing.
No, I
And then
hear
when she
you.
came out, he's laughing, kind of at, like looking at the guys laughing. It was to me, it was like, it doesn't matter what the other person does.
You need to then
you
be above.
need to have your own character.
I agree. But he did it for the boys.
Again, yeah.
He did it for the boys.
That's not
he's looking at him and he's like, you guys want me to do this right? Let's hear it for the boys.
Yeah, for the boys. Yeah,
Let's hear it for my babe. You know that song?
Yeah.
Footloose?
Yeah.
But he did it for the boys. Yeah. And so he is then with Iris. Everyone cheers. Huda is on the floor. What a shot.
Yeah.
What a cinematic shot. And he's like, Iris has been level-headed. She's checking in on me. Ariana's like, Huda, you can come out. She emerges. We find out that her door was unlocked, would have unlocked for Jeremiah.
100%.
And she goes, dude, she will not. She's going to burn his ass to the ground.
She's like, he's not even into you. And you're not
she said,
attracted to you.
he told me she's not his type. He's not attracted to her. Doesn't want to sleep in the same bed as her. Vicious, bro.
She does not hold back.
Vicious.
She's vicious.
I just felt horrible for Iris.
Dude, Iris was the victim in all this.
Because Iris then leans into Jeremiah and was like, I don't want to be the safe option. She goes, you're not the safe option for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I hope you're not choosing me for the safe option.
It just
bullshit.
feels like you're like, I'm just in the middle of this. And like, does he like me or is he just using me to get
if I'm
credit
Iris,
from the boys?
I ditch him, go with the next
sure.
like bombshell that comes in or somebody else.
Austin is laughing and he's just like, this is crazy. Just a circle of what the fuck. Huda's like, once again, Jeremy failed. Congrats, buddy. You're a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, it is absolute mess. And then they find out that the Islanders have to vote who goes home, Huda or Jalen. And this was wild because, like you had mentioned before, all the women stand behind Huda. All the men stand behind Jalen, except Taylor stands behind Huda, which makes sense because he doesn't want Jalen there because Jalen's competition
100%.
for Olandria. So I get Taylor, but then Ace stands behind Huda for her to support her.
And Huda does this thing where she's like, tries to like shake his hand, thank you, and he goes, hell no. So it's like, why are you doing it? Was a
test.
I cannot wait for the next episode.
Because
it's like Jeremiah's probably going to have to know what's going on. Ace is going to have to kind of justify why he did it. Huda's now still here, which is great TV. And now so another stewing in it. Iris is gonna have to deal with all. It's gonna be an electric next episode.
Imagine. I just had a thought. Ace.
Makes a move on Huda.
Can you?
Because he kind of had a vibe with her early on.
Can you fucking imagine? This has been his long game to get to Huda.
Then
Insane.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
No, I'm thinking about this. I know that Ace stopped paying attention to Iris the last episode because she was with Jeremiah.
Yeah.
What if Ace wants to keep, even though he's coupled up with Chelley, he doesn't want to be locked in because he's a commitment phobe. He wants to keep his Iris option open. And if Huda is in there, then that's a distraction for Jeremiah and he can keep talking to Iris.
Interesting.
I mean, he's sharp.
He's that much of a player.
And that much of like the architect that I could see him like crafting that plan.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But Huda lives to stay another day. Yeah. And Jalen leaves, which is sad because Jalen was such a sweet guy. But the whole episode wraps with Iris. She's crying because Iris then stood by Huda. But she was like, Jalen's such a nice guy. But I think Iris wanted to show Huda that she was like trying to be like a girl's girl and respect her and be like, hey, you know, I want to see you find love. And Huda then comes over to her and she's like, I just want to say thank you. I know I wasn't the best to her, but I'm grateful for her. And I'm like, Huda is going to trust and believe. Huda will, in this next episode, and some of you have already watched the next episode, so maybe you know that this is right. But I just feel in my bones that Huda is going to pull Iris almost immediately and sit down with her and be like, hey girl, I'm so sorry for how I reacted, but I just want you to know these are the 15 things that Jeremiah has done that
He's gonna try to poison
terrible.
She's going to try to poison.
She is going to try to become best friends with Iris
and
to fucking poison the well
100%.
against Jeremiah.
Yeah, like she can't hang with her.
That is why Huda came up and was nice to Iris because she's like, oh, I got to get in with Iris now to turn Iris against Jeremiah.
100%.
That's what went down,
question.
Everybody. That's
what a group of episodes.
I mean,
amazing.
Can we hear it for these episodes?
Wow.
Let's hear it for the episodes. Let's hear it for the show.
It's so good, you guys. It's so good. I
mean, it's
wait.
so damn good. It's so...
The next week's going to be fiery, man. There's going to be so much to talk about.
I cannot wait.
There's going to be so much.
It's the best reality TV show out there, in my opinion.
Incredible.
It's gotta be.
It's so good.
I'll stand by it. It's my favorite.
This season's delivering. We'll say that too.
Well, and I think some people are like, it just started to deliver because of the drama. I've been in since day one.
Yeah.
This season's just been delivering
for
me.
Bubbling. A couple of these things bubbling. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Well, family, again, tune in on Thursday. For another full week's worth of episodes recapping Love Island. Yeah. We love you all. Mwah. And sending well wishes and fully cooked pancake dreams to all of you.
Yes, we love you.
Bye.
Bye.